Hey, what is up guys? My name is Andy and today we are going to be comparing the Ginault Ocean Rover 2 with the TUDOR Black Bay 58. Let's start with dimensions right away. The TUDOR Black Bay 58 is a 39mm in diameter, a lug-to-lug of 47mm. It has a lug width of 20mm that tapers down to 16mm and back up in this clasp at 18mm. We have a thickness of 12mm. The crown is a screw-down crown and it doesn't have crown guards. It measures 6.6 inches in diameter. The dial of this watch is 30.5mm in diameter. And I'm going to show you guys just in a minute why I'm including this measurement. Also, the bezel. The bezel measurements are 4.2mm thick. On with the start of the show, the Ginault Ocean Rover 2. As we said in previous videos, the Ocean Rover 2 has a case of 40mm in diameter, a 47mm lug-to-lug, a lug width of 20mm that tapers down to 15.4mm and back up to 17.5mm at the clasp. The case thickness is 12.5mm and we have a screw-down crown here with crown guards, and the crown is a 6.7mm in diameter. And this watch has a dial that is 30mm in diameter, and the bezel measures 5.5mm. Now, both of these watches were very nice and comfy in my 6.7-inch wrist. The funny thing is that the TUDOR Black Bay 58 is supposed to be smaller than the Ginault, but I am getting a smaller vibe from the Ginault. But why? The measurements of the dial and bezel are the ones that make the difference. Sometimes we don't even notice, but I had to measure both to see why it felt to me that the Ginault is a smaller watch. And that's because of the measurements of the dial and bezel combined. Now, both have a sapphire crystal, but the TUDOR Black Bay 58 has a domed sapphire crystal instead of the Ginault that has a flat sapphire crystal but with a date magnifier. As we can see, they have pretty good anti-reflective coating, but I think because of the dome crystal of the TUDOR, it reflects much more light, as you can see here. So let's move on to the bezels. The bezel of the Ginault Ocean Rover 2 is a ceramic bezel, 120 clicks, and it is very tough but very shiny, as you can see here. On the other hand, the TUDOR Black Bay 58 has an aluminum bezel and it is a matte black aluminum, but it is not as scratch resistant as the sapphire that we have right here on this Ginault Ocean Rover 2. It is a 70 click bezel, but it is a very sturdy and very satisfying clicks. Let's hear them and compare. Okay, so in my opinion, the bezel of the Ginault Ocean Rover 2 is a better bezel because it has a ceramic bezel and it has a 120 click. So that could help you measure the time very much accurate. On the other hand, the TUDOR Black Bay 58 has a 70 click bezel. So you only can put the triangle exactly on the markers. And if you have to measure time as accurately as possible, you cannot do that here. But in overall construction, for me, the TUDOR Black Bay 58 wins here. The clicks are very sturdy, they are very noticeable, and there's no wobble whatsoever. So now let's talk about the crowns. Both have their logo on the crowns. One has crown guards and the other doesn't. This is just for more vintage looking here in the TUDOR Black Bay 58. This is a modern look, but the Ocean Rover 2 has crown guards that could help you in some situations. If you bang the watch, don't damage the crown or break it. With that being said, both have screw-down crowns, as you can see here. And you have the winding position much more smoother action here in the TUDOR. And two more positions. One for the date here in the Ginault Ocean ROVER 2, and one for changing the hour and minutes. The TUDOR Black Bay 58 just have one more position. It is hacking the watch and changing the hour and minutes. Both feel great in action, but I think that overall, because of the movement, the TUDOR Black Bay 58, it is a much more smoother action and feel. Threading back the crown in these watches, it is very simple and smooth. Both are great. Easy and smooth, satisfying. So let's talk about dials here. The Ginault Ocean ROVER 2 has a glossy dial, but very, very deep black. It is kind of mesmerizing. The TUDOR Black Bay 58 has a matte black, but actually it's just like a black, brownish, grayish feel to it. But it's not as mesmerizing as the Ginault Ocean ROVER 2. Both have gilt dials, that is, that the lume has a little vintage tone to it, but the TUDOR Black Bay 58 has rose gold hands or gilt tone hands, and the Ocean ROVER 2 has a silver tone hands. But both overall look almost the same as in the colors. I gotta say, the unique hands of the TUDOR Black Bay 58 made me look much more down to my wrist and see this watch. Now let's talk about the bracelets here. Both are very great bracelets. I really love what they've been doing here with that Ginault Ocean ROVER 2. They have similar feeling to them. Very similar feeling, very smooth feeling, very great quality. But I think that the Black Bay 58 has a better quality to it. The clasp is awesome here in the Black Bay 58. The Black Bay 58 has ceramic pins here for long-lasting closing and opening. The Ocean ROVER 2, for me, it is great and I love it, but I think that they just have to work in some things. But overall, this is a great clasp. It closes great. It is very well machined. And what I really like about this one is the glide lock system that they incorporated here in the watch. It is pretty cool, actually, for a $1,000 watch. And with the TUDOR Black Bay 58, we only have 3 micro adjustments, and I think this is missing some micro adjustments for everyone to fit their wrist perfectly. In terms of movement, the Ocean ROVER 2 does not have a lead on the TUDOR Black Bay 58. The TUDOR Black Bay 58 is amazing. It is a 70-hour power reserve. It has a in-house movement, and it is anti-magnetic. This one, on the other hand, the Ocean ROVER 2 has an head-up movement, a basic head-up movement, but it's a reliable movement and it is not expensive to service. Both have closed case backs, as you can see here, and very clean case backs. What I really like about the Ocean ROVER 2 is that, yes, it is an head-up movement and it is a basic movement, Swiss basic movement, but they regulate it so good that it is within COSC standards. I've been keeping track of the Ocean ROVER 2 with the TUDOR Black Bay 58 that it is a COSC certified movement, and they are basically the same. They are losing ±2 seconds a day. Even though the Black Bay 58 is a better watch, much more expensive, with a prestigious brand, COSC certified, I keep coming back to the Ginault Ocean ROVER 2. I think overall it is a very comfortable watch, and I very much like how it wears on my wrist. Don't get me wrong. Maybe I'm still in the honeymoon period with the Ocean ROVER. I'm still very much in love with my TUDOR Black Bay 58. And I really sometimes feel a little bit guilty that I'm using much more my Ginault Ocean ROVER 2 instead of my TUDOR. Well, this has been it, guys. Thank you for watching, and remember, this is just my opinion, and sorry if I offended anybody comparing the Black Bay 58 to the Ocean Rover 2. This is me just comparing a independent brand to a prestigious brand with a hell of a history, and see what they can offer with so much less of a money. And yeah, now we can see that they are pretty close to a prestigious brand with all history and heritage. I am not saying that the Ocean Rover 2 is a better watch than the TUDOR Black Bay 58, but I think that the Ocean Rover 2 is a very good contender to the Black Bay 58. It has I forgot to tell you that it is a 300-meter water resistant watch. The TUDOR Black Bay 58 costs $1,000 more, and it has only 200 meters of water resistance. So they got something going on here. But nevertheless, I think that the TUDOR Black Bay 58 for me is a better watch. It is a better build, better quality, better movement. And the Ocean Rover 2 just get very close to that. So yeah, this is a pretty good watch, as I already said in my review. But yeah, I still love my TUDOR Black Bay 58. So, well, this has been it, guys. Thank you for watching. Comment down below if you like these kind of videos, and subscribe. Thank you.